Churches are the reason people aren't going to church, and after thousands and thousands of conversations with people who used to go to church and no longer do, let me tell you exactly what needs to stop. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm a deep skeptic, also a pastor. And what I mean by the church has caused it, I mean that the church has actively traumatized people. There's a real thing called religious trauma syndrome, and that is the cause in small ways and in big ways of people not going to church anymore. So the number one thing that I hear over and over again is you got to stop talking about the rapture. It's not a real thing, and you definitely have to stop showing children movies about their parents disappearing and all of that kind of stuff. That deeply traumatizes people, and it's not okay. And it's something that was invented by a guy named John Darby in the 1830s. Stop talking about the rapture. Next one is stop saying that gay people are going to hell. They're not. And the Bible doesn't say that. And even if it did, you don't take the sexual ethic of a culture that existed 2,000 years ago and apply it to our modern culture today. Just stop with the homophobic and hate comments. Stop trying to argue people into heaven. That doesn't work. This whole idea of apologetics, fighting with people in public and on college campuses, all that does is make you look mean and not open to learning new things. And when you train people at your churches to do that, it makes other people not want to go to church. Stop acting like it is a requirement of the spiritual life or of Christianity to give 10% of your income to the church. No grandmother should have to give 10% of their Social Security check, and no single mom that can't buy uniforms for their children should be ever considering that they need to give 10% of what they've earned to the church. That's not okay. It's not in the Bible, and it's manipulation for you to have more money, and those kinds of things really make people not want to come to church. Stop with the purity culture, the purity rings, the purity pledges. All of those things are damaging people deeply, wounding them deeply, traumatizing them deeply, affecting their lives in these awful ways all the way through to their adulthood. You got to stop that. That's not okay. You got to stop letting all the rich people make the decisions. Stop putting only wealthy and powerful people on your boards, and absolutely stop making their voices heard louder in a church. Jesus did not say that he came for the wealthy. In fact, he specifically said that he came for the poor. So you got to stop with that. And finally, and in the pastor voice, I'll close with this. You got to stop the emotional manipulation. You got to stop using all of these random tools that you grew up with, that you were trained in, to manipulate people to giving more money, showing up more, volunteering more, and sacrificing their families. Stop the emotional manipulation and the spiritual manipulation. It's really bad. And people who don't go to church, they see right through it, and it makes them not ever want to come back. Look, I know this is a lot to ask because I really named the core of a lot of church cultures, but that's why there is such a decline in church attendance, because the church has allowed many, many things that are corrupt, that are not okay, to seep into their core culture. And the only way to make people want to engage with you and find real help, like real solid religious experiences and connect with God, the only way that's going to happen is if churches stop doing these things, stop driving people away.